So for today, we will be discussing Laplace transformation. Uh, so this is another way of solving differential equations. Uh, Pagdating natin dun sa next part. So for today, ang pag-aaralan muna natin is yung Laplace transformation of functions. Ayan. So ano ba yung objective natin for today? So ang pinaka-objective natin is to solve the Laplace transform of the given function by definition, by common functions, and by shifting theorem, and by the multiplication of t raised to n. So meron tayong mga given functions in terms of t, and then we will transform them in terms of variable s. So by definition, the Laplace transform formation is a method that reconstructs a function of a real variable t to a function of a complex variable s. So parang tayo mga t domain and then yung s domain. So this is just a transformation from a real variable t to a complex variable s. Okay, so let f, or the function, be the function defined for t which is greater than or equal to 0, then we will have this integral. So ito yung sign ng ating Laplace transform, para siyang L, yan, cursive na L. Okay, the Laplace transform, and the function is f of t. So the Laplace transform of this function, ito yung sign ng Laplace. So Laplace transform of this function is equal to the integral of e raised to negative st times the function dt. Okay, kaya lang dito meron tayong limit is from 0 to infinity. 0 to infinity. Ang gagawin lang natin is lagi lang natin minumultiply yung function ng e raised to negative st because this is the transformation of our variables from a real variable t to a complex variable s. So lahat ng functions na ila-Laplace transform natin is imumultiply muna natin ito bago natin i-integrate. Ayan. So this expresses the Laplace transform of the function f, where the function e raised to negative st is what we call the kernel of the transform. So ito ang tinatawag na kernel of the transform. So because we are transforming a function of real variable t to a complex variable s. So from t going to s. Ayan. So pag mag-i-integrate tayo, idadagdag muna natin, i-multiply muna natin yung kernel before we go to the definite integration. Okay, so lahat ng function na in terms of t, para makuha yung Laplace transform to make it a complex variable s, is ito yung gagamitin nating equation. Okay, ilalagay lang natin dito yung function and then we perform the integration. Okay, so what are the methods in methods of Laplace transform by definition? So, ayan, sabi ko nga, halimbawa, ang f of t natin is e raised to k. So, ang gagawin natin is, i-multiply natin para makuha yung Laplace transform nito. Ayan, so i-multiply natin yung kernel dun sa function natin. And then we perform the integration. Ayan. So imagine nyo, mag-integrate kayo nito. And then, we will have this. Ayan, so integrate lang natin siya in terms of t. And then we will have that. And then we will, after integrating, we will apply the limit. So that is from 0 to infinity. So i-apply lang natin from 0 to infinity. Ayan. Sa value ng t. Okay. And then, ayan. So, ang e raised to negative infinity is approximately what? Approximately, what do you think? E raised to negative infinity. So, what do you think is e raised to negative infinity? Okay, so that's equal to 1 over e raised to infinity. Diba, any number, 1 divided by, e raised to infinity is an infinite number. And then 1 divided by an infinite number is equal to, okay, so approximately, parang ano lang yan, 1 i-divide mo ng 1 billion. Ano yung value niya? Di ba, it is approximately equal to 0. So, this is approximately equal to 0. Ayan. Kaya, pag ito naman, i-raise to 0, so that is 1. So, i-multiply mo siya dito, negative 1 times negative 1, so that's positive 1. So, therefore, the Laplace transform of e raised to k is 1 over s minus k. Nandito naman. K yung ginamit dyan dito, n. Ayan. So, nasa third formula natin, yun din, yung dinerive nating Laplace transform. So, yung Laplace transform ng e raised to k or dun sa given natin, dun sa common functions natin, yung e raised to nt, so that's equal to 1 over s minus n. So, n is an integer. Okay? Okay, after which, yan. Okay. So, therefore, this is the Laplace transform. Okay? The Laplace transform of e raised to k. So, magiging na siyang f of s. So, hindi na siya small f. So, this is capital F. So, which is our final answer. So, this is the Laplace transform of e raised to kt. So, in k is any value or any number. So, i-replace lang natin siya dito. So, example, e raised to k lang yan. So, this will be s minus 1. Okay? Ayan. So, ito na yung mga Laplace transform ng common functions. Ayan. So, kailangan nyo silang i-memorize. Pero syempre, dahil may ano naman, so, pwede naman kopyahin and then you could have the list. List ng mga yan para pag nagsusolve kayo, meron kayong guide para sa mga common functions na ila-Laplace transform. Okay, may question? Okay, so yun yung mga Laplace transform example. Ayan, we will proceed to the examples ngayon na kung wala kayong question. So mamaya na tayo sa shifting theorem. Okay, so let's have some examples first. Okay, so let's have the first one. Ayan. Nakikita niyo ba? Okay, so find the Laplace transform of t squared plus 4t minus 5. T squared minus 4t minus 5. So, ang mangyayari dyan ay isa-isay natin yung Laplace transform. Parang ito ay kukunin natin yung isa-isang Laplace transform ng t squared plus the Laplace transform of 4t minus the Laplace transform of 5. So, therefore, yung Laplace transform nito ay based sa formula natin. Ayan. Okay, so based sa formula, yung t squared will be under number 2, t raised to n. Ayan, t raised to n. So the Laplace transform is n factorial. So ano yung value ng n natin? So dito sa given. So it's 2. Ayan. So that will be equal to 2 factorial over ayan, s raised to n plus 1. That is s raised to n plus 1. Ayan. Okay? Plus 4 times, so t, ano yung Laplace transform ng t? So it is the same. So kaya lang yung n natin ngayon ay 1. So 1 factorial over S1 plus 1. Okay, minus, okay, Laplace transform ng constant. So constant is C over S, or the constant over S. So that's equal to 5 over S. Okay? And then we will just simplify. So that will be 2 over S cubed plus 4 over S squared minus 5 over S. So normally, ang ginagawa is, i-add natin yung mga fractions. So ang LCD is S cubed. So S cubed divided by S cubed, so that's a 1. So we have 2 plus S cubed divided by S squared is S times 4, 4S minus 5S squared. So this is our final answer. Okay? Nakuha ba? Okay, so let's have the second one. So second one is find the Laplace transform of 3e raised to 4t minus e raised to negative 2. So e raised to 3 times e raised to 4t minus e raised to negative 2t. So what is the Laplace transform of this function? So if we will check our, so proud naman silang e raised to t. So nandito tayo, e raised to t. So ang e, wala ko na lang dito. So ang formula natin ay e raised to nt. So that's equivalent to 1 over s minus n. So s minus n. So that means, therefore, our function is equal to 3 times, paano natin na-transform ang e raised to 4t? So, ang n natin dito ay 4. So, that will be equal to 1 over s minus 4. Okay, minus. Ito naman, ang n natin is negative 2. So, that's 1 over s minus negative 2. So therefore, the Laplace transform is equal to 3 over s minus 4 minus 1 over s plus 2. Okay, so and then we just add them. So we'll have s minus 4 times s plus 2. So this divided by this, so that's s plus 2 times 3. So 3 s plus 2 minus the dot times 1, so that's s minus 4. So that's equal to a 3s plus 6 minus s plus 4 over s squared plus 2s minus 4s minus 6. So that's equal to 2s plus 10 over s squared minus 2s minus 8. So this is our Laplace transform. Okay, may question ba? Let's have another one. Okay, so kayo ang sumagot nito. What's the Laplace transform of 40 raised to 3 minus 60 raised to negative 2t plus 5? Ayan. So, can you try this one? So, sa denominator, pwede naman siyang hindi nyo na siya i-add. Pwedeng ganito na lang siya. Okay, pero ang importante is na-add nyo yung dalawang fractions. Pero kahit hindi nyo na pala i-multiply yung ano nasa baba or expand. So, ang importante ay magawa nyo ito. Ayan. So, importante ay ma-add nyo yung fractions. Pero kahit hindi nyo na i-expand or i-expand yung denominator. So, limbawa dito, so pwede nyo i-add dito. So, i-add nyo lang and then kahit huwag nyo nang i-expand yung denominator. So, okay lang. Okay? So, let's have another one. Ayan. So, what is the Laplace transform of hyperbolic sine 40 minus cosine 40? Okay, so yung Laplace transform natin ay equal siya sa, okay, paano ba yung hyperbolic sine? So if you will get the formula, ang hyperbolic sine ay ito. So magiging siya n over s squared minus n squared. So s squared minus n squared. Okay, ano yung value ng n natin? So yung n natin ay 4. So magiging 4 over s squared minus 4 squared. Okay, minus. Okay, paano naman ang cosine? So, ang cosine nt naman natin is s over s squared plus n squared. So, magiging yung s natin, s over s squared plus 4 squared. Okay? So, klaseng na ninyo, ano yung difference ng hyperbolic at saka yung normal lang na trigo? So, yung sine natin, una, compare natin yung sine and cosine. So, pag compare natin yung sine and cosine, yung sine, ang numerator niya ay n, or yung numerical value ng angle, and then yung cosine is yung s. So, s lang siya. So, ns. Pagdating naman sa hyperbolic, ang difference niya doon sa regular na trigo ay negative siya. Negative yung n squared instead of positive. So, yung pinaka-difference nung mga trigo functions at saka yung hyperbolic sine. So, ito lang yung common na integration, Laplace transform ng common functions na meron tayo. So, yun yung difference. Pag sine, yung n. Pag cosine, yung s. Pag hyperbolic, magiging negative lang yung pagitan ng s at saka ng n squared. So, that will be equal to, so if you will simplify, so 4 over s squared minus 16 minus s over s squared plus 16. So, pwede natin itong i-add. So, s squared minus 16 times s squared plus 16. So, ito divided by yun. So, s squared plus 16 times 4 minus s times s squared minus 16. So, that's equal to 4s squared plus, what's 16 times 4? 64? 64 minus s cubed plus 16s. All over s squared minus 16 plus times s squared plus 16. So, final answer is 64 plus 4s squared minus, okay, sorry. Ulitin natin. 64 plus 16s plus 4s squared minus s cubed. All over s squared minus 16 times s squared plus 16. So that's our final answer. So mahirap ba? Mahirap ba ang Laplace transform? Di ba, ayos lang naman. So, ayos lang naman siya. Okay, so let's have another one. Okay. Sorry. Sample 3. Okay. Okay. So let's have the fourth number 25. So let's have the fifth one. So what is the Laplace transform of quantity 1 plus e raised to 6t squared? So kung titingnan natin yung mga functions natin, so wala naman tayong may square dito sa 7 na to. So ang gagawin natin is kailangan muna natin siyang i-expand. So expand natin para mawala yung square. So that is the Laplace transform of expand. Okay, so square the first term and then multiply the two terms, then times 2. So 2e raised to 6t, and then square the last term. So square the last term is e raised to 12t. Okay? Ayan. So pwede na natin yan i-Laplace transform. So ang function natin nun ay equal siya sa, so constant is 1 over s plus 2, and then this is exponential. So that's equal to times 1 over s minus 6 plus 1 over s minus 12. That's equal to 1 over s plus 2 over s minus 6 plus 1 over s minus 12. And then we just add them. So LCD is s times s minus 6 times s minus 12. So ito divided by yon. So s minus 6 times s minus 12 plus 2 times, ito divided by ito, s times s minus 12 plus divided by that. So that's s times s minus 6. So let's simplify. So that's s squared minus 12s minus 6s plus what's 12 times 6? 72. 72 plus 2s squared minus 24s plus s squared minus 6s. Okay, all over s times s minus 6, s minus 12. So simplify natin. S to s, we'll have 4s squared, and then we have negative 12 minus 6 minus 24 minus 6. Okay, minus 48s s, and then plus 72 all over s times s minus 6 times s minus 12. So this is our Laplace transform. Okay? Okay, wala kayong question. So let's go to what we call the shifting theorem. Ayan. So shifting theorem. Okay, paano ang shifting theorem? So unlike doon sa mga common functions natin which are simple lang sila or nag-iisang mga functions lang sila. Okay, so dito sa shifting theorem, so meron tayong additional na function na e raised to n. So parang meron tayong dinagdag na e raised to n. So yung sa e raised to n natin, so pwedeng halimbawa kung t lang yan, tapos nilagyan natin siya ng e raised to nt. Kung cosine yan, let's say cosine hyperbolic of t, tapos meron siyang e raised to 40. Ganyan. So pag merong kasama na e raised to nt, yung given function natin, so magpe-perform tayo ng shifting theorem. So paano gagawin sa shifting theorem? Okay, sa shifting theorem, review pala. Sa shifting theorem, so eto, ang una ay ilalaplace transform natin yung kasama ng e raised to n. Okay? So ilalaplace transform natin ito. Okay. So halimbawa, dito sa example natin, ilalaplace, parang ang gagawin ko, ang Laplace transform ay equal siya sa, yung Laplace transform, una ay yung Laplace transform ng, magbabalik ka rin ko muna pala. So, ang dating dito, yung function natin, t is equal to t raised to 5. Yan. So, yung function natin ay yung t raised to 5. So, ang gagawin natin, ito is ita-transform muna natin siya sa kanyang Laplace transform. Okay? So, Laplace transform muna natin yan. So, kaya mangyayari ay yung function natin ay equal siya sa yung Laplace transform ng 5, t raised to 5. Kaya ang t raised to 5 natin ay 5 factorial over s raised to 5 plus 1. Okay? So, yun yung ating Laplace transform, yung t raised to 5 muna. Okay? So, t raised to 5. So, di ba, ang e raised to 2t, ano yung Laplace transform niya? Di ba, Laplace transform niya ay 1 over s minus 2. So, 1 over s minus 2. So, ang ibig sabihin ng shifting theorem, so after natin ni-Laplace transform yung f of t natin, which is the t raised to n, so saka natin papalitan lahat ng s, papalitan natin sila ng, or shift natin sila doon sa denominator na to. So, magiging s minus 2. So, magiging lang silang s minus 2. So, kung i-simplify ko to, so magiging, ano yung 5 factorial? So, ang 5 factorial ay, what's our 5 factorial? So, it's 120. So, 120 over s raised to 6. So, i-shift natin siya yung s gagawin natin s minus 2. So therefore, yung Laplace transform natin ay magiging 120 over the quantity s minus 2 raised to 6. Ayan. So ganyan lang yung sa shifting theorem. So yung kasama ng e raised to nt, i-Laplace transform muna natin given yung formula natin. And then lahat ng s, papalitan natin sila dun sa shifting or dun sa Laplace transform na may s nung ating e raised to n. Nakuha ba? When malalaman kung kailangan gamitan ng shifting, pag meron tayong dalawang function at yung isa sa function ay e raised to nt. Di ba yung mga formula natin kasi, let's say this one, this list of formulas, di ba yung mga nilalaplace transform lang natin ay yung mga common functions. Okay, so common functions. So what if meron na siyang halimbawa ito, meron na siyang e raised to n, tapos ito may nakamultiply ng e raised to nt, and so on. Doon tayo mag-shifting theorem. Okay, pag yung nilalaplace transform natin, meron siyang kasamang e raised to nt. Okay? Okay, so let's have another one. Number 2. Okay, so what is the Laplace transform of Okay, so what is the Laplace transform? Tagalin ko muna to, no? So what is the Laplace transform of e raised to negative t times hyperbolic sine of 40? Okay, so hyperbolic sine of 40. So ang gagawin natin is ilalaplace transform, di ba? Ang Laplace transform natin through shifting will be, kukunin natin yung Laplace transform ng hyperbolic sine 40. Tapos, isi-shift natin yung s with respect doon sa e raised to negative t. So, with respect to e raised to negative t. So, ano ba yung e raised to negative t natin? So, yung e raised to negative t, yung Laplace transform niya ay 1 over s plus 1. Diba? Okay, so, ibig sabihin ng shifting natin ay from s, gagawin natin siyang s plus 1. Okay, ngayon, itutuloy na natin. So, what is the Laplace transform of hyperbolic sine 40? Ang hyperbolic sine ay n. Okay, formula nito ay n over n squared minus, s squared minus n squared. So, that will be n. So, that's 4 over s squared minus 16. And then, we will transform lahat ng s, gagawin ninyo s plus 1. Yeah. Okay? So, that's equal to 4 times quantity s plus 1 squared minus 16. Then we simplify. That's equal to 4 over s squared plus 2s plus 1 minus 16. So of our Laplace transformation is equal to 4 over s squared plus 2s minus 15. This is our final answer. Okay, just remember, yung shifting ay may kasama siyang e raised to nt. So, meron kasamang e raised to nt. Shifting. Okay. So the last one is what we call the uh, multiplication by Tn. So yung shifting method ay ginagamit natin pag merong kasamang e raised to nt yung isang given common function. Dito naman, ang kasama ng function ay t raised to n. So meron naman siyang kasamang t raised to n. Hindi siya e raised to nt, t raised to n. May mali dito sa... Okay, so class medyo... this one should be t raised to n, okay? This should be t raised to n. Ayan. So parang ang ano natin ay ang nilalaplace multiplication of t raised to n. So yung nilalaplace transform natin ay t raised to n at saka yung ating function. Okay, so ang formula natin ay yung negative 1 times d raised to n over ds raised to n times the Laplace transform of that given function. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Anong ibig sabihin niyan? So ibig sabihin niyan ay ang ibig sabihin niyan ay i-derive natin siya depende doon sa power ng n. Okay, so yung d raised to n, so that is the derivative. So halimbawa, 2 yan, so twice natin siyang i-derive. Bawa, 6 yan, 6 times mo siyang i-derive. Parang hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung example natin kanina. Kasi naka-6 yata ako. Tama ba ako? Yung sa shifting natin, hindi natin, parang ayoko siyang gamitin. No? Kasi mag-derive tayong 6 times. Gusto nyo? So, subukan? 6 times? Para makuha din natin yung same answer. 6 times. Pwede naman natin subukan, no? Sige, subukan natin yun. Para tingnan natin kung pareho yung sagot natin. So, example natin ay, so yung Laplace, find the Laplace transform. Yung example natin kanina, ba't ko pa pinakataas kasi? T raised to 6 and then e raised to 2t. Baliktad lang. So ito class, pag meron kayong ganitong example, pwede siyang dalawang method. It's either by shifting theorem siya or by multiplication of t. Pero nakita nyo naman, mas madali siya sa shifting theorem. Pero tingnan natin, baka gusto nyo rin siya sa sa multiplication of tn. So if you will apply the formula, so that's equal to negative 1 times the 6th derivative of the function of the Laplace transform of e raised to 2t. Okay. So the Laplace transform is equal to negative 1 times the 6th derivative of okay, ano itong Laplace transform nito? So, ang Laplace transform niya ay 1 over s minus 2. 1 over s minus 2. Okay. Bago natin siya i-derive 6 times, ita-transform ko na siya. So, s minus 2 raised to negative 1. Para mas madali siyang i-derive. Now, let's get the 6th derivative of this. So, gawin ko muna siyang y. So, we let y is equal to s minus 2 raised to negative 1. So, what's y prime? It's negative 1 times s minus 2, negative 2. Y double prime, positive 2 times s minus 2 raised to negative 3. Y triple prime, negative 6, s minus 2 raised to negative 4. So the fourth prime is 24 times s minus 2 raised to negative 5. Y to the fifth prime is equal to, what's 5 times 24? Wait, parang may mali. Anyway, let's finish this first. So that will be, tama ba ako? 24. So, nasa 120 na ako. Times s minus 2 raised to negative 6. Sandali. Wait lang. Kamali ako ng copy dun sa given. 5 pala ito. 6 pala yung nasulat ko. Pero kung titignan natin siya sa 5, so dito na tayo titigil. So, di ba? Raised to 5. So, magiging siyang negative 120 over S2 minus S minus 2 raised to 6. Kaya lang, di ba, positive. Pero, di ba, negative 1 raised to 5 is negative. So, i-multiply natin doon, which is magiging positive. Kaya, magsisame lang sila ng answer nito. Nagkamali pala akong kopya. 5 pala to. 6 yung nasulat ko. Kaya umabot tayo ng 720. Kung 6 yung nasulat ko, so that should be 6 factorial, which is 720. So, pareho lang naman na magiging sagot. Ayan. So, pag meron kayong given na magkasama yung T at saka E, meron kayong choice. It's either mag-ano kayo, shifting o kaya mag-multiplication of T raised to N. Okay. Sorry. Ito. It should be 6. 6. 6. Okay, thank you. Okay. Ano mas madali? Mag-derive o mag-shifting na lang? Number na tayo. So, number 2. Okay, so actually mas madali talaga yung shifting compared sa multiplication of T. Kaya minsan wala tayong choice. Halimbawa, ang next example natin, ayan. What's the Laplace transform of T raised to T squared times sine 3T? Okay? So, multiplication of T yan, wala tayong choice kasi ganyan talaga. Ano gagawin natin? So, gagawin natin ay, ano yung formula natin ng Laplace transform? Okay, so that's equal to negative 1 raised to 2 and d squared over ds squared times of, so what's the Laplace transform of sine 3t? Okay, yung sine 3t natin ay 3 over s squared plus 9. Yan na. Okay. So, ang Laplace transform natin ay ito ay magiging positive 1. So, ang gagawin na lang natin ay i-derive natin to ng dalawang beses. Pero ita-transform ko na siya na 3 times s squared plus 9 raised to negative 1. Para madali lang i-derive. Okay? So, so I will let y para mas lang, is equal to 3 times s squared plus 9 raised to 1. So what's a y prime? 3 times negative 1 times s squared plus 9 raised to negative 2 times 2s. Simplify ko siya. So, meron akong negative 6s times s squared plus 9 raised to negative 2. Okay, so mag-product rule ako. So, that's equal. Ilalabas ko na yung negative 6. So, pa-product rule ako. So, that's s times negative 2 s squared plus 9 raised to negative 3 plus s squared plus 9 raised to negative 2. Derivative ng s is 1. So that's equal to negative 6 quantity. Kulang ako dito ng 2s. Tama ko. Chain rule. Copy ko yung s and then derive ko to. So ibababa ko itong power. Minusan ko ng 1 and then i-derive ko to. 2s. And then kakopy ko ito and then i-derive ko yung SO1. So yan. So magiging siyang negative 4s over s squared plus 9 raised to 3 plus 1 over s squared plus 9 raised to 2. Then i-add natin. So that will be negative 6 times s squared plus 9, yung LCD is 3. So ito ay magiging negative 4s plus s squared plus 9. So, ang sagot ay, okay, final answer na ako, is equal to negative 6 times s squared minus 4s plus 9 all over s squared plus 9 raised to 3. Or, okay, siguro ganyan na lang, no? Or negative 6s squared minus 24s plus 54 over s squared plus 9 raised to 3. This is our final answer. Na-imagine nyo ba kung 3 yan or 4? Fourth derivative? Third derivative? Okay? So, that's it for today. Pero merong assignment. Madali lang naman. So, ang assignment ninyo ay assignment which will be submitted on Friday. Find the Laplace transform of t squared e raised to 2t sine 2t. Yan. Tatlo. Anong pwede nyo gawin dyan? Yan ang gagawin nyo. Class, an idea? Anong gagawin? Okay, pili muna kayo. Okay, pili muna kayo. Anong una yung gagawin? Mag-shifting or mag-multiplication of t. So you could either, syempre ito kasama, ito kayong pipili. Yung ending, yung pipiliin nyo. Ano ba yung gusto yung ending? Shifting or transform multiplication of t. So halimbawa, gusto nyo muna is i-evaluate nyo muna to. So kunin nyo muna yung Laplace transform nito. And then i-apply nyo yung multiplication of t. Or ito muna and then shifting nyo siya after. So kunin nyo muna yung Laplace transform nito and then shifting nyo siya. Okay? Na-gets nyo ba? So meron kayong choice. Meron dalawang paraan. I-shifting nyo muna siya before nyo siya i-multiplication of t or i-multiplication of t nyo muna siya bago nyo siya i-shifting. Pero para sa akin, parang mas madali ay i-multiplication of t ko muna siya bago ko siya i-shifting. Bakit? Kasi pag shifting ko siya, di ba magiging binomial yung s? Parang ayoko naman yata mag-derive ng may binomial pa. Kaya, kung ako ang tatanungin, mas gagawin ko siyang i-multiplication of t ko muna bago ko siya isi-shifting. Tama ba? Tama ba yung ano ko? Tingin nyo? Tama ba yung strategy ko kung ako yon? Kasi class, halimbawa, ito, parang ito lang yan. Papalitan nyo lang yun ng 2. Tama ba? And then, pag nakuha nyo na ito, saka nyo lang papalitan yung s ng shifting nyo lang siya. Papalitan nyo lang yung s. And then you simplify again. Okay? Okay, so that's it for today. See you on Friday. So may question ba?